I have a take on Angel Reese that I'm sure will trigger a bunch of people.
Let's hear your take.
But I think Angel Reese, and I'm saying this with my chest out, I think she's quit.
It's official. The Angel Reese era in Chicago has completely collapsed. Before the media tries to twist the narrative, let's look at the facts they are ignoring. This isn't just a rough patch, it's a total franchise breakdown. And the supposed cornerstone is the one fueling the fire. Angel Reese is stuck in basketball limbo and on the verge of making the biggest misstep of her career. While the WNBA's marketing machine keeps selling fans a feel-good story, the reality tells a different tale. A 9-30 disaster, a franchise ranked worst in the league by its own players, and a star who's quietly planning her exit. This is the story of how one of the league's most overhyped players turned against her own team, and why her attempt to escape is likely to end in an ugly, public failure. Strap in, the real story is about to come to light.
What? Excuse me? Let me make sure I'm understanding you correctly. WNBA media is so desperate to make Angel Reese a huge star. Their level of desperation is so high. They want you to accept her so badly that they're actively celebrating failure?
The Chicago Sky are an absolute disaster. No point in sugarcoating it. With a miserable 9-30 record, they've become the punchline of the entire league. This franchise is spiraling faster than Angel Reese's crashing shooting percentage. Hard to believe this is the same team that hoisted a championship trophy just 4 years ago. Now it's nothing but ruins. When players across the WNBA vote your organization as the worst run in the league, it's no longer a bad stretch. It's a full-blown organizational crisis. And at the heart of this storm sits Angel Reese, the player meant to be the foundation of the rebuild. But instead of being the steady leader the team needed, she's become the spark fueling the chaos. Her frustration has reached its breaking point, and the message is loud and clear. She wants out. It all began with vague social media posts, hints about trades, teammates leaving, and locker room shakeups. But then came the real shocker, a message hidden in plain sight. P.S. Making decisions for yourself is a liberating feeling. That's not something a loyal franchise player says. That's the final flare from someone already mentally checked out and plotting their exit. And if you thought her silent withdrawal was bad, the behind-the-scenes behavior tells an even uglier story. The tension between Reese and the coaching staff has completely unraveled. Head coach Teresa Weatherspoon, the very person who believed in her and brought her in, was shown the door. Instead of using that as motivation, Reese took it personally, posting emotional reactions online that made it clear she saw it as a betrayal, not a professional reality check. That was the first real sign that her emotions had begun to outweigh the team's stability. Now, under new head coach Tyler Marsh, the situation has only deteriorated. Reports suggest she's been openly defiant in team huddles, and it all came to light in one viral, jaw-dropping moment. The breaking point came during a critical timeout. Angel Reese slapped a clipboard right out of an assistant coach's hands. Think about that. In the middle of a tight game, when the coaching staff is trying to draw up a play to salvage the moment, her reaction isn't focus or composure. It's open defiance. That's not competitive fire. That's blatant disrespect. She's so caught up in her own frustration that she ends up undermining her own team in real time. This isn't leadership, it's toxicity, and it's infecting the entire organization. And the dysfunction doesn't stop there. Even her teammates seem to have hit their breaking point. The proof is right there in the game footage. Watch closely. You'll see Chicago players glance toward Reese in the post as she calls for the ball, only to ignore her completely. Some even settle for contested shots or let the clock expire instead of passing it inside. When teammates would rather risk a turnover than trust you with the ball, that's not just tension, that's a fractured locker room. The situation finally boiled over when veteran Elizabeth Williams openly addressed the team's turnover issues in a post-game press conference, while sitting right beside Reese. It was a not-so-subtle jab, a clear call-out of Reese's league-leading 4.7 turnovers per game. The chemistry isn't just bad anymore, it's toxic on a radioactive level. And here's the thing, this behavior isn't new. It's straight out of the Angel Reese playbook. When adversity hits, she doesn't dig in, she checks out. Think back to her college days. The moment things got difficult at Maryland, she transferred to LSU. That move earned her a reputation among critics as the Queen of Quit. Now, history seems to be repeating itself on the professional stage. Right as Chicago's season completely unraveled, a mysterious back injury appeared out of nowhere. She was sidelined for weeks, with the team offering no clear diagnosis or timeline for her return. To many, it didn't look like a medical setback. It looked like a convenient escape hatch. But here's where the story takes an unexpected and ironic turn. What happens when the so-called Queen of Quit finally tries to walk away, only to realize her kingdom holds no value? Angel Reese is about to collide with a reality check so harsh it could redefine her entire career. The truth is simple: her market value doesn't match her self-image. Her scoring numbers are average at best, she's shooting an uninspiring 44%, and her turnovers have nearly doubled. Worst of all, the stats show that Chicago actually performs better when she's off the floor. Those aren't the kind of numbers that spark bidding wars, they are the kind that make general managers stop returning calls. And according to league insiders, that's exactly what's happening. Her trade value has completely bottomed out. Sure, she can rebound. That's never been in question, but offensively, she's a black hole. The issue runs far deeper than her stats or her rookie contract. It's about her attitude. It's the baggage that comes with her. No smart franchise is going to give up meaningful assets for a player viewed as a locker room liability, someone who checks out when things get tough, disrespects coaches, and fuels unnecessary social media drama. Her individual numbers have never translated into team success, and every front office in the league can see that pattern loud and clear. The comparison to other young stars is almost painful. Take Caitlin Clark, for instance. She's endured relentless physical play, intense media pressure, and the enormous responsibility of carrying a franchise. Yet she's done it all with professionalism and composure, qualities Angel Reese seems to lack. While Clark is setting records and lifting her team, Reese is busy turning her flaws into a brand and clashing with her own teammates online. The difference in maturity between Reese and her peers isn't just a gap, it's a canyon. And the ultimate irony? The Chicago Sky seem to have finally called her bluff. They are no longer bending over backward to cater to her. No desperate trades, no hand-holding. Instead, the organization is quietly shifting its focus toward developing players who actually want to be part of the rebuild. They've come to the same realization the rest of the league already has. Angel Reese isn't a franchise cornerstone, she's a stat patter, a personal brand. And in a league built on winning, branding doesn't bring championships. Even the team's own marketing reflects the delusion. After losing 79-69, the Sky's official account proudly posted a player of the game graphic featuring Reese. Think about that. Celebrating a loss as if it were an achievement. You can't be the player of the game when your team loses. That's not pride. That's a symptom of a culture that rewards mediocrity, a culture that's been eating away at the organization from the inside out. The franchise has become so desperate to protect her image that it's lost sight of the one thing that actually matters in professional sports: winning. So what happens next? Angel Reese now stands at a career crossroads. She can choose to humble herself, face the challenge of rebuilding the very mess she helped create, and finally grow into the professional leader she was supposed to be. Or she can force her way out of Chicago, only to learn the hard way that the grass on the other side isn't greener. If she bolts, she could find herself on a smaller team with less media hype, fewer sponsorships, and a coach who won't tolerate her antics for a second. She may come to realize that being the big fish in a small, struggling pond was as good as it was ever going to get for a player whose fame has outpaced her substance. This entire saga has become a referendum on Angel Reese's ability to become a true winner, and right now, the verdict isn't in her favor. But what do you think? Is Angel Reese the victim of a broken organization, or the cause of its collapse? Drop your honest thoughts in the comments below. And if you thought this story was wild, click the video on your screen that uncovers the real financial truth behind the WNBA's biggest stars. You won't believe what they are actually earning. Don't forget to subscribe for more unfiltered sports breakdowns.